Okay, so welcome to our second Zoom meeting. This is the one that follows our class 2. And in our second class, we talked about major suit openings and responses. So today we'll have a little bit of review about what we did in class 1, and then we'll focus on major suit openings and responses. And then we'll try to have some time to play some hands on BBO also. So please ask questions as they come up, because this Zoom meeting serves two purposes. First of all, it's for you guys that are on the Zoom to be able to answer questions. Well, I guess three purposes really. It's also for people who had to miss the last class to be able to come and attend a makeup class. And the third thing is it's for people who couldn't come to class at all, who can watch these Zoom sessions and get some information out of them. So feel free to ask questions. You're probably going to be asking a question that somebody else thought of, but just isn't asking. Also, let me know if I misspeak, because you know I do that. So, all right, let's start out. Back over here with our hand count. Can everybody see my screen now that says hand count?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Just a reminder that we value our hands in bridge. This is how it helps us in the bidding process. It helps us know how high we should be. An ace is equal to 4 points. A king is 3 points. A queen is 2 points. And a jack is 1 point. Plus, we also add 1 point for every card over 4 in a suit. That's how we value our hand. That's an our initial valuation that tells us how much our hand is worth. And so that helps us in the bidding process. During the bidding process, what we're trying to do is figure out how high we belong on the bidding ladder. Can you guys all see the bidding ladder now?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
And on the handout that you guys have that talks about the bidding ladder, and here too, you can see that over on the left-hand side, it gives us an idea of how many points we need to have to bid at each level. And remember that when we bid in bridge, we're always bidding 6 plus the level we're bidding at. So if we bid at the 1 level right in here, we're saying that we can take 7 tricks, 6 plus 1. And if we're going to bid at that level, we need to have about 20 or 21 points between us. This is why.
Does that, Sally,
Yes.
does that include the long?
Yes, it does. It includes the whole hand valuation, high card points and length. So remember, we said that to open the bidding, you need to have about 13 points. And to respond as a bidder, you need to have 6 points. Well, the 6 and the 13 is 19 points. That's about the 20 points you need to be at the 1 level. So if either one of you don't have that many points, you shouldn't be bidding. It should be the other people that are bidding. If you are bidding at the 2 level, you probably need to have 22 or 23. 24 or 25 gets you up to the 3 level. 26, 4 level. 29 is needed for the 5 level. 33 points is needed if you're going to bid to the 6th level. And then about 37 points, nearly all the points in the deck, are needed if you're going to bid all 7. If you're going to say, I can take all 13 tricks, you need to have just about all the points in there. We also pointed out that there are places along the bidding ladder that we are trying to see if we can get to. The first one is 3 no trump. If we can bid to 3 no trump, that's a game. 4 hearts or 4 spades, that's a game. 5 clubs or 5 diamonds, that's a game. If we bid the game to that level, we get extra points. We get 300 or 500 extra points, depending on how the scoring's working on that hand. So that is a big incentive to try to get to that point. You try to kind of urge yourself on to that point, but if you see you're not going to be able to bid that high, then the idea is to stop as low down the bidding ladder as you can. because if you're stopping short of game, you get the same points if you bid 1 no trump or 2 no trump. As long as you make the 2 no trump. If you bid 1 no trump and make 2, that's exactly the same number of points as bidding 2 no trump and making 2. If you bid 3 no trump and make 3 no trump, now that's a different thing, because then you get that score plus the game bonus. If you bid 2 no trump and make 3 no trump, you don't get the game bonus. You have to actually bid and make your bid to get this game bonus, which is important in the scoring. Any questions on that? That's just kind of an overview of how the bidding works. Okay. Then let me go to one other place here. Now, let's talk about major suit openings. Now, do you remember what the major suits are?
Spades and hearts. The hearts and the spades.
Spades and hearts, those are the major suits. We like the major suits because if we can bid a major suit, we want to bid a major suit. We only need to make 4 in order to get the major suit game. We have to bid 5 to get a minor suit game. We can only lose 2 tricks if we make a game in clubs or diamonds. So they're very hard to make. We talked about the fact last week that we have priorities in our opening bid. And the first priority of an opening bid, what we would like to open the bidding, if we can, is 1 no trump. 1 no trump, though, has a real specific meaning. 1 no trump means you have 15 to 17 points, and it means you have a balanced hand. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about no trump in a few weeks because it's a real specialized sort of bidding. But just remember for right now that if we can bid 1 no trump, that's our first priority because we can describe our hand in 1 bid. But if you can't bid 1 no trump, your second choice of what to bid is to bid a major suit if you can. Well, what you need to do, what you need to have to bid an opening, to bid 1 of a major is described right here. It says opening 1 of a major promises between 13 and 21 valuation points. So that's your high card points plus length. It also promises 5 cards in the major suit. We don't care how good those cards are. They can be the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, but we care that we've got 5 of them. You'll also notice that it says 13 to 21 points. What do you do if you have 22 or more points? Well,
2 clubs.
2 clubs. We're not talking about it in this class because that's a little bit more advanced subject. You'll need to learn it right after you get out of beginning bridge. But the 2 clubs is a special bid that means nothing about clubs. All it means is when you open 2 clubs, when you're the opening bidder, the first person to bid at the table, and you say 2 clubs, it means I've got 22 or more points. So all the bidding we're going to be doing here in our beginning bridge class to open the bidding will promise between 13 and 21 points. So that's
Wait,
yeah.
is this what you just told us there? Are those rules or is that just very strong advice?
Well, rules is too strong because everybody in bridge kind of uses their own, how aggressive they are or how timid they are of bidding. So, you know, I would say they're more guidelines, but at your point in learning to bid bridge, to do bridge bidding, I would take it as a rule because you don't have enough information right now to make some of the finer distinctions that one might make. Number 1, and number 2, you've got a partner sitting across from you at the table, and that partner needs to be able to depend on you for your bid to mean what they think it means. So while you might shade it here or there, you're misleading your partner if you do that. So it's best to treat these as rules. But if you're talking about a rule in terms of it being something that if you break the rule, you get penalized, no, there's no exact penalty for that. It's just that you aren't bidding as well as you could. Does that help? Does that make it clear?
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, good. Okay, so that's for opening one of a major. And that's pretty straightforward. We've got between 13 and 21 points. We've got 5 cards in the major suit. The only question could be, what if you have 2 5-card major suits? What do you do?
Use the higher.
You bid the higher one. If we have 2 5-card suits, we have bid the higher one. If we have 2 4-card suits, not that you open a 4-card major suit, but just in general, the rule is if you have 2 4-card suits, you bid up the line. 2 5-card suits, you bid the higher one first. So that is opening one of a major, 13 to 21 points, 5-card suit. Now let's talk about raising your partner's suit. Your partner has bid one of a major. You are now the responder. So we want to respond to our partner's opening bid of either 1 heart or 1 spade. And so let's look down here on our handout and it will give us some information. Our first priority is to raise our partner's suit. Now, if our partner has promised 5 cards in the suit, how many cards do we need to have a fit with them to want to raise that suit? How many do we need to have?
3.
3, that's right, because we said that 8 is the magic fit. If we have an 8-card suit between us and our partner, that's what we're looking for. A 9-card suit is better, a 10-card suit better than that, but at least an 8 is what we want. Sometimes we have to play a 7-card fit, but at least if we have 7 cards, we have more than the opponents. They only have 6. But having 8 means they only have 5. So that's really a way better position to be in. So our first priority is if we have 3 of our partner's suit, we want to do this: raise our partner's suit, raise the opener's suit. Now, here's a very important thing that's talking about right here. And that is that we revalue our hand when we find that fit. We revalue the hand using shortness rather than length. We forget about the length points we counted initially, and now we count shortness points. We look in our hand, and if we have a void, which means we have no cards in a suit, we add 5 points for that. That's better than an ace, right? An ace is only worth 4. So if you have a void, it's very valuable. You add 5 points. If you have a singleton, which means you have 1 in the suit, you add 3 points. And if you have 1 in the suit, 2 in the suit, that's a doubleton, you add 1 point for that. So 5 for a void, 3 for a singleton, 1 for a doubleton. That gives you a revalued value for your hand, and you use that to decide which of these categories you're in. Which of these categories right here that you're in. So if you are in the 0 to 5 category, you're just going to pass. You don't have enough to bid. Remember, we said generally you need 6 to bid. So with your revalued hand, if you have 5 or less, you pass. If you're between 6 and 10, you do what's called a single raise. That means one of the major, capital M is a major, one of the major to 2 of a major. So like 1 heart, 2 hearts, 1 spade, 2 spades. That's if you're in the 6 to 10 or 6 to 9. I shade it a little bit. I make it 6 to 9. So either 6 to 9 or 10, you raise one level. If you have 11 or 12, or for me, 10 to 12, you do what's called a double raise. And that's one heart, three hearts, one spade, three spades. You jump up a level. Now, if you have 13 or more points, you would think that you just bid four. So one heart, four hearts. If our partner has opened with 13 points and we have 13 points, that puts us up at the four level on the bidding ladder, right? If you remember your bidding ladder, 26 points is the four level. So if we have 13 or more points, we know that we have a game, but we don't jump to game. What we usually do is bid a new suit and wait to hear what partner says. And the reason we do that is because of this little statement right here. A raise to four is what's called a weak freak bid. That is a long suit, a long amount of cards in the suit your partner is bid and less than 10 points. So if the bidding goes one heart, four hearts, I would expect the person with four hearts to have 5 or 6 hearts and maybe 6 or 7 points. So a weak hand with a lot of hearts or a lot of spades, depending on what my partner is bid. Does that make sense to everybody? Maybe not the why we do that, but the fact that it is so. Everybody can see that?
May I rephrase what you said? If you
Sure.
have 13 plus points, bid a new suit, meaning if he bid hearts, you go spades.
Yes,
He bid two hearts. It said two hearts, and now we're going to go to two spades. But the alternative is what you just mentioned. The raise to four is a weak freak.
that's right. If it goes one heart, four hearts, or one spade, four spades, that is a weak bid. But if it goes one heart, one spade, or one spade, two diamonds, you don't know what that means because we're going to talk in a minute about other times you bid a new suit. So if you've got 13 or more, you can't show that right away. You just bid a new suit. You know in your own head that you're going to go to game. You know that, but you're waiting to hear back from partner because partner has promised 13 points, but partner might have 21 points. If partner has 21 points and you're 13 points, that puts you up on the 6th level of the bidding ladder, which means you could get bid 6. That's what's called a small slam. You would get your game bonus points plus slam bonus points. Game bonus is either 300 or 500. Slam bonus is either 500 or 750. So these are really important levels to know about. I've told you before that I don't need you to know how to do the scoring right now. It's not important. You've got enough other things on your mind right now. But you do need to understand that it's important if you can get to those slam levels or you get to the game level, you get a bunch of extra points for that. Okay, so this is our first possibility, is that we raise our partner's suit. Our partner's opened one heart or one spade. If we raise to the 2 level, we've got 6 to 9 or 10. If we raise to the 3 level, we've got 10 to 12 or 11 or 12. If we bid a new suit, we may have an opening hand. But if we bid to the 4 level, we've got a weak hand. So if it goes one heart, 4 hearts, that's a weak hand. Okay, now what do we do if we don't have support for partner suit? We raise partner suit if we have support. But when we don't have support, then we go down to this next section. Bidding a new suit. Bidding a new suit. And this is our second choice, our second priority, bidding a new suit. So this is if we have no support for partner suit or back up to the first priority, if we have 13 or more points, we may bid a new suit. Okay, does that make sense to you? Partner doesn't know which one of them we're doing. We know which one. Partner doesn't know. If partner hears you bid a new suit, partner is going to assume initially that you don't have support for their suit. Okay, you're going to come back later when you get a chance to bid, and then you're going to go to at least game in that suit, if not higher. Okay, so your second priority is to bid a new suit. That's when you have no support for partner. If you bid at the 1 level, it just promises 6 points and a 4-card suit. So let's say partner has bid 1 heart. You don't have 3 hearts, but you do have 6 points, and you've got a 4-card spade suit. You would bid 1 spade. You would show them the spade suit. You can bid to the 2 level, but you need to have 10 or 11 points to do that. So let's say partner has opened 1 spade. Now, anything you bid, any suit you bid has to be at the 2 level. So for you to bid 2 diamonds or 2 clubs or 2 hearts, you're promising 10 points. Sometimes you don't have 10 points, but you do have a suit, but you can't name that suit because you can't bid to the 2 level. Then you do this, what's your last choice, which is bidding 1 no trump right here. We talked about the fact that 1 no trump just means, partner, I don't have anything else to bid. I can't go to the 2 level because I don't have 10 points. I don't have a 4-card suit that I could bid at the 1 level, but I do have 6 to 9 or 10 points. And when that's the case, you bid 1 no trump. Now notice here, if you bid at the 2 level, you have to have 10 or 11 points, and you only have to have 4 cards if it's clubs or diamonds. But if you're going to bid hearts, you need to have 5 cards to bid hearts. So this would be an example of partner has bid 1 spade. And if we are going to bid at the 2 level, we need to have 10 points. And if we're going to bid hearts, we need to have 5 hearts. It's, to me, in bridge, it's easier if I don't have to remember rules, but I can just remember concepts. But these are some rules that you need to remember. You just kind of need to put these in your memory banks. There aren't a lot of them, but when you're starting out, sometimes you just have to kind of commit these rules to memory. Question?
It really is just
I can hear somebody talking, but I'm not understanding you. And Nathan, if that's you, you're muted.
No, it's not me.
Okay, maybe I'm just hearing somebody in the background then. Okay. All right, so our first priority is to raise our partner's suit if we have 3 in the suit. Our second priority is to bid a new suit if we don't have support for partner's suit. And our last choice of what to respond to a major is to bid 1 no trump. That makes sense to everybody so far? We're going to look at some hands, and I think it'll help when we look at hands. Okay?
Sally,
Yes.
on bidding a new seat at the 2nd level,
Uh-huh.
promises 10 to 11. It says 5 cards of hearts. Why not 5 cards if spade?
Well, because if your partner bid hearts, you wouldn't have to bid spades at the 2 level. You can bid that at the 1 level. So if partner bid 1 heart, you can say 1 spade. That only requires you to have 4.
Okay, so I'm missing something. This is based on opening hearts. Then.
Yes, we're only talking today about if partner has opened a heart or a spade. We're going to talk next week about if partner opens a club or a diamond.
Right.
So today, and all of the thoughts we're doing here, we're talking about our partner has opened 1 heart or 1 spade.
Okay, so I still don't understand. Why can't I open 5 cards or respond 5 cards for spades.
You can, but it would be at the one level because partner would have bid 1 heart. For you to respond a spade, he would have bid a heart. You can say a spade, but you can say 1 spade. That's the next thing up the bidding ladder. And that promises 4, but it could be 5 or 6 or 7. It could be any number. It just
What if
promises it's 4.
What if partner opened 1 spade?
Yeah, if partner opens 1 spade, then any bid you make has to be at the 2 level unless you bid 1 no trump. And if you make a response at the 2 level, you have to have 10 points. So partner could bid 1 spade. You could say 2 clubs, 2 diamonds, or 2 hearts. If you say 2 clubs or 2 diamonds, you just have to have 4. But if you say 2 hearts, it promises 5 cards in the heart suit. And you just have to remember that as a rule. Are
But
we okay
because
with
if
this?
you said 2 spades, that would be raising the opener suit,
Right,
not
you
bidding
don't
a new
jump up.
suit.
You can't
Yeah,
go 1
yeah.
spade. You can't go 1 heart, 2 spades. You can, but we're going to talk about that later. But what we're talking about today, you wouldn't go 1 heart, 2 spades. You would just go 1 heart, 1 spade. It's very rare that we jump around much on the bidding ladder. Sometimes we do, but mostly we don't jump. Mostly we want to keep things low until we find out where we belong. So particularly if you don't have a match with your partner, you aren't going to jump up anywhere. You're going to keep the bidding as low as you can. As I say, there are exceptions to that, and we'll get to those, but just try to think about the fact that usually we don't jump. We just bid the next bid up that makes sense. Okay, the last thing I want to mention is we have been talking now about partner opening 1 heart or 1 spade, and that we respond. If we have support, we raise our partner's suit. If we don't have support, we bid a new suit or we bid 1 no trump. Well, after we do that as the responder, then it goes back to our partner. It is our partner's turn to bid. Okay, the opener. It's now back to them. It's now back to their turn to bid. And this is what we're talking about down here in the bottom part of the handout. The opener's rebids. Now, if your partner has not limited their hand, you need to make another bid to show the level of your hand. Remember, when you start out 1 heart or 1 spade, your promise is promising between 13 and 21 points. That is a really big gap. So if partner has not limited their hand, you want to start limiting your hand so partner will have an idea of how many points you have. Well, if you are at the minimum level, 13 to 15, you are going to rebid your suit, raise your partner's suit, or bid the lowest no trump that you can. You can't bid a new suit at the 1 level if your partner has opened 1 heart or 1 spade. You could do that if your partner had opened a club or a diamond, but we're not talking about this week. So let's say that the bidding went 1 heart by me, 2 diamonds by my partner. That's not limiting. Their hand is 10 or more points. Could be any number of points, 10 or more. So I now want to bid to show my partner what level I'm at. If I just have a minimum hand between 13 and 15 points, I'm either going to raise their suit or rebid my suit or bid the lowest no trump, which would be 2 no trump at that point. So if I open a heart, partner says 2 diamonds, I may say 3 diamonds, I may say 2 hearts, or I may say 2 no trump. Any of those 3 bids would tell partner, put the brakes on, I'm a minimum hand. If you've got more points, if you've got about 16 to 18, that's a medium hand. Then you want to jump and either bid a new suit or jump in your suit or your partner's suit. So if, again, I started with a heart and my partner bids 2 diamonds, and I've got a strong hand, like 16 to 18 points, or it's called a medium hand, better than the minimum hand. I could bid 3 hearts, jump in hearts, 1 heart, 2 diamonds, 3 hearts, that's jumping up a level. That would show I have an extra heart and extra points. Or I could bid 4 diamonds, jumping up in diamonds if I really like their diamonds and I've got extra points. Or I could bid a new suit. So it could go like 1 heart, 2 diamonds, 2 spades. That would show a strong hand, or at least stronger than a minimum hand. Now, if we have a giant hand, the maximum hand, 19 to 21, remember we said we were between 13 and 21. So if we're at the very top of that 19 to 21, we can do what's called a jump shift. We jump up a level and bid a new suit. That rarely happens. And you don't have to do that. You can just bid a new suit. That will at least tell your partner you're more than a minimum, and your partner can decide what to do. But sometimes your hand is so strong you want to do that. Let's look at some hands now. Unless there's specific questions right now, I think it's really going to help you to see us go through some hands where this might make more sense than me just talking about it. Questions? Okay, then.
I do have a question, Sally. Is
Okay.
after we're finished here, I'm gonna play with somebody remotely.
Uh-huh.
And could you maybe show us, is there a way that we can, 2 of us can play the computer and I can get some coaching real time?
Yes, uh-huh. We'll go
Okay.
over to BBO right now.
Thank you.
Just a second and get over there. Okay, now I'm over on BBO. Now, what we need to do here is, I can just show you on the screen through these hands, but it'll be more fun if some of you actually get to play the hands. So those of you that have a BBO name, have already registered on BBO, if you'll go over and log into BBO right now, just keep Zoom up, don't close Zoom. Keep the Zoom window open, but maybe minimize it somewhere just so you can hear me. And then go to BBO and sign in. If you're using your phone, you probably don't have enough screen space to do this, and if you're using your iPad, it might even be hard. But if you're on a desktop, this should work okay. And I think
I'm gonna run get my iPad.
okay. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. You can sign on to an iPad and be on the desktop at the same time. I don't see any of you signed in yet. And Susan, I know I've got your BBO name. I've got both the Thanes in.
I'm on my iPad and I don't know if I can keep you and still go to the BBO site.
Yeah, see if you can minimize.
But actually what I'm going to try to do is join the Zoom on my on my desktop, and then
Okay.
I can go to the BBO on my iPad, I
Okay,
think.
all right, that should work. There's Ready Aim. Who is that? That
Me,
is
Debbie
Debbie.
Fisher.
Debbie, yeah, very good. Debbie's in.
I thought I signed in, but I'm not sure. Okay.
What's your name?
Alexa, Chris.
No, you may be in, but I don't have you. Let me add you. ALEXACHRIS.
Correct.
Yeah, I just added you as a friend. So you may need to go out and come in again because I'm not seeing you on here.
Oh, I don't know. I'm having a hard time with, going on both screens.
Well, if you don't want to
but-
do it on both screens, that's okay. You can just look. It's just more fun if you want to actually play.
Yeah, I would like to. I'm gonna
Okay.
try to make it work.
Okay, very good.
Recording in progress.
Okay, Nathan. While people are getting on, I think if you go to this casual, where it says casual, and sign in here, you can play with a partner here. It says, I have a partner, take us to a table. Or you can start a table with 3 robots. That's probably not what you want to do. Oh, find your own game. That's what you can do. Somebody needs to mute because it's the feedback is giving me. So whoever has me up needs to mute me. Anyway, Nathan, if it's where it says find your own game, if you start a table and you want to start a table relaxed game, once you start that, then where it says sit, that's you. You can sit there. Like I'm going to do it sit right here. And then in the south hand, where it says reserve, you click on that.
Where does this say sit?
Hang on just a second and I'll show you where it says, oh, well, I can do that right here. Right here, when I click on, well, it's not going to show me sit right now because I am sitting. But right when I click on the name, ordinarily it will say sit robot reserve. And so if you want to sit there, you sit there. Here, when he's going to want to reserve, so you reserve, and then like he would ask you, Debbie, ready, aim. He would type in your BBO name, and it would send you an invitation, and you could
There's
sit there.
Sally.
Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yeah, you just popped up, Sally.
I know. There I
Oh,
am.
now I'm on.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, I'm gonna go yes.
So
Yeah.
can
And
I
see, now
play?
you're sitting, and now we could play a game together. If I would tell it to deal, redeal, it would deal as a hand. Oop, cannot redeal. Can't you deal? Oh, I don't have anybody sitting west east. You need to put somebody. So I'm going to put a robot, and the robots cost money, $2.99 a week or $1.99 a day. Okay, and then it gives us a deal. So that's how you would do it. Now I'm going to
So
go back.
Sally, I'm
Yes.
sorry, how could I be added to this table?
I could take you instead of the robot. I could remove and reserve. Now, who is that? That's Chris Alex, right? Is that your name?
Alexa Chris. Yeah,
Alexa
and
Chris. There
yeah,
you are.
there I
Alexa
am.
Chris. And there it is. It's going to send you an invitation.
Okay.
Okay. But let's get out of here because I want to go back to actual look at the real hands that we want to look at. So
Goodbye.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get out too, right?
yeah, I think it automatically is going to kick you off. I'm going to set up a practice game and a teaching table because the teaching tables work a little bit different. Okay. So in North, let's have ready, aim. You can sit there. So I'm sending you an invitation. And then let's have Scadler. Okay, who else do I have on? Alexa Chris. Sent you an invitation. Do I have anybody else on who wants to sit here, or I can just sit there? No one else? Okay, then I'm gonna sit here.
Oops.
Was that the sound of shuffling?
It was, but we're about to, okay. This is actually hand 9 out of your book. So, ready, aim, what would you bid with that? And go ahead and make your bid. It should have come up on your screen, so you can do that.
I have to bid a spade.
Okay, do that then.
Oh. Ready, aim. How am I gonna do that?
It should, when this is
Oh, I'm on,
highlighted,
oh,
it should give you an option of how to do it.
one spade.
Yeah, hit, there you go, very good. Now it's Susan's turn. Are you gonna want to bid or pass? Okay. Now, Chris, it's your turn.
I am going to say 2 spades.
Okay. And now it's my turn. I'm gonna pass. Okay, those of you that are not on can look at the BBOs at the Zoom screen. It should be showing everybody's hands. Or can you guys look at that? If you're not on BBO, you can see everybody's hands if you look at the Zoom screen, because I can see everybody's hands.
I'm looking at everybody's hands and I'm ready, aim.
Yeah, but you're probably looking at Zoom, not BBO.
Right. I'm
Yeah.
cheating.
Yes, you're cheating. Okay, but those of you that can see everybody's hands, let's look up at Ready Aim's hand. She's got 10, 11, 12, 13 plus 1, 14 points. So she's going to open that hand 1 spade. Susan passes. Then let's look at Chris's hand, Alexa Chris. She's got 4, 5, 6, 7 points. She revalues her hand because she has support for her partner's 1 spade bid, right? She's got at least 3 spades. She has 4 spades.
I didn't revalue it, did you?
So she revalues it using dummy points, except she doesn't have any. She's got a very flat hand. She has no shortness in that hand. So that hand is just worth the same amount it would be no matter. It is worth 7 points. But that puts her in between the 6 and the 9 or 10 category, where she raises her partner 1 level. So 1 spade, 2 spades. Does everybody see that? Okay. Then let's look back at Ready Aim, Debbie's hand. She just had 13 points or 14 points to start. What category is she in? Is she in the bottom, the middle, or the upper level of an opening hand?
Bottom.
The bottom.
No, yeah.
Bottom.
Yeah.
So she's just going to pass.
Why wouldn't I? Oh, because we're at 2 spades. Never mind.
Yeah. Yeah. So you go ahead and pass.
Oh, down here. I'm gonna pass.
Okay. And then it's East's turn to bid. East, are you going to bid anything? You're going to pass. And so when there's 3 passes in a row, that's when the auction part is ended and we start the play. And on BBO, it shows whose turn it is to do something by being yellow. So Susan Scadler is yellow right now. So that means it's her turn to lead. So she would need to lead something. And what would we lead out of that hand? Well, if we have a sequence that's headed by a face card, we lead that. So in this case, we would lead the Jack of Diamonds. Okay. And then we
And
just,
the,
yeah,
and the rule that you talked about in class is cover an honor with an honor. Even so, second place normally plays low.
that's right.
So I would play my ace.
Well, no,
No?
no, because you are not going to play this. Debbie is playing it because you're the dummy. So
Oh, that's right.
Debbie is
Sorry,
playing your
I'm
hand.
quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. So I'm gonna go,
Yeah. Oh, and then it's me.
so I'm gonna have to play my king,
Hmm.
and I go again.
Yeah.
I might
Now,
as, oh,
before anybody else plays anything, that's fine. I just want to point out that look at the north and south hands. Look at their spades. Do you notice anything that's missing in that spade suit?
face
Honors.
cards,
Yeah, all the face cards are
honors.
missing, but we don't care. And the reason we don't care is if we have way more than half of the spades, even the spades that are out, if they're high, they're going to fall, you know. And usually, if that many points are missing, we're not going to be at a game or anywhere. We're going to be lower down. We're only at 2 spades. That just means we have to take 8 tricks. So we really don't care. We would prefer to have them, but but if we don't have them, that's okay. Okay, so Susan, it's your turn to play. And second hand low is what you would usually do. Now, another rule that we talked about is it's usually a good idea to draw your trump first. That's what we nearly always do when we are the declarer. So Debbie, you should probably go ahead and lead spades until you bring the spades out of the opponent's hands.
Okay, there's 2 of the honors.
Mm-hmm. And it's Susan's turn to lead again.
Oh, I'm asleep at the wheel. So still go after
Still
spade?
go at them because you still have 2 out. Remember, you started with 5 and the dummy started with 4, so that's 9. So that
I'm
means
not
there
gonna
were
end up
4
with
out.
many.
Yeah, and they played 2 on the first trick, so that means there's 2 out.
Oh, and the other person's got them.
Yeah. Now, before you draw this last one, that ace is going to win no matter what. So it doesn't make any difference if you draw it in. It'll take 2 of your trump to draw it in. You might as well just let it hang out there and win whenever it's going to win. Does that make sense?
Okay,
When the
yes.
high one is out, you know, there's no point in you using 2 of your trump to bring 1 of mine in.
Okay, so
So go ahead and
we'll
just,
see if he wants to spend it on these hearts,
that's right.
or she.
Yeah, it's me, so.
All right, I'm gonna try again.
All right.
I don't know how many hearts have been played. Oh, yes, I do. I'm gonna cheat.
Well, and plus, you know, yours is the highest unless I trump it. But even
Well,
if
that's
I
what
do
I- that's
trump it,
what I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
get
You're
one
gonna-
and you're gonna get two because you've got two spades left. So it really doesn't make any difference. But you did get that one.
All right. Well, let's just go get your ace.
Okay, and now I have to lead back and you've got spades to win, so. So you made your two tricks. Took the
Whew.
8 that you needed to, well done. Okay, let's look at another one. And this time, let's just talk about it because we're running short of time, so let's just look at this. Notice how the east is yellow right now? And also over here where it says deal 14, which is, don't pay any attention to the number of the deal, but there's a D here. That also means that east is the dealer and it's yellow here. So east gets to deal and that means they get to bid first. So let's look at this hand. Boy, there's a bunch of points there, right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 4 is 16, 17, 18 points. So they would open one heart. So Susan, why don't you do that?
8, 12.
Okay. And then Chris, you can pass because you don't have 13 points.
Okay. Oh, do I need to bid actually?
Yeah, you need to because I can't make the screen go on otherwise.
Okay.
Now let's
Okay,
look
I'm
at,
sorry, I was just
okay.
relaxing here.
let's look at my hand. First of all, do I have support for my partner's hearts?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, I have at least 3. I've got 4. So that means I need to revalue my hand using dummy points. Well, I've got a singleton. I've got just one club. That's a singleton. How many points do I add for a singleton?
3.
3. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 points. My revalued hand. That means that I am going to raise my partner. I'm in that 6 to 9 or 10 range. I'm going to raise my partner one time. So I'm going to bid 2 hearts. I'm going to raise her to 2 hearts.
Okay.
Then Debbie, you need to pass. Okay, now it comes back to Susan's hand. She's got 18 points. She knows I have between 6 and 9 points, right? If I have 16 points with her 18 points, is that enough for a game?
Yes.
6 and 18 is just 24. We need at least
I would go 3
25.
hearts.
Huh?
I
Right.
would say 3 hearts.
3 hearts. 3 hearts says, partner, I've got extra. Were you at the top or the bottom of your bid?
Plus, you know, there's at least 10 hearts out there that you have.
Yeah. Well, no, you just know that you have 9 because Susan's got 6 and she knows I have 3. She can't see that I have
Oh, 3. Okay, she can't.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought if you responded, you had to have 4. No,
No,
never
to
mind.
respond,
Okay, never
you
mind.
just have to have 3. Yeah.
Okay, thank
Because
you.
she had promised 5. I just need to have 3.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead, Susan, and bid 3 hearts.
Oops.
Okay, and then the south hand's going to pass. And then it comes back around to the west hand. Now, my partner has said, partner, I have extra. Were you at the top or the bottom of your bid? So remember, I had 9 valuation points. Was that the top or the bottom of my bid?
Top.
The top, because I could have had 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9. That's at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and bid 4 hearts. She said if I was at the top, go. And so I am, and that gives us a game. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes,
Okay. Then let's look at another one. And on this one, South is the dealer. We can see that here and we can see that here, but South passes. Then we look at the West hand. The West doesn't have 13 points, so they're going to pass. Ready Aim. Ready Aim has 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 7 more is 18, 19 points. So she bids 1 heart. Very good. Susan's going to pass. She doesn't have 10 points. Now it comes down here to my partner, the partner of the person that bid 1 heart. Do I have support for my partner's suit?
no,
No, because I don't have 3 in her suit. I would need to have 3 hearts. I don't have that. But do I have enough to bid? I'd need at least 6 to bid.
yes, with long points.
Yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high card points, 6, 7. So I've got 7 points. That's enough to bid. I want to name a new suit. So I want to say 1 spade. Now notice, since I only have 7 points, if to bid spades, I had to go to the 2 level, I couldn't do it. Have to have 10 points to bid at the 2 level, but bidding at the 1 point is just fine. So I'm going to say 1 spade. And then West passes. Now,
So I know you have 4 spades
I have at least 4 spades and 6 points.
and I have 4 spades, so that's a fit.
That's a fit. Very good.
1 spade. Okay. I have, how many points do I have? 8,
Yeah, 14,
8,
18, 19
11,
points.
17. Now I am
No, you've got
reevaluating.
19.
Well, I've
You've
got
got
19 with this, but now I'm
14 plus
reevaluating.
14 plus 4 is 18, and an extra one is 19.
1,
or,
2,
or actually, you are now the dummy. So you
right. So
use
I'm
dummy points to
reevaluating.
evaluation. So you get to add 1 for the diamond and also another 1 for the 2 doubletons. You get to add 1 for each.
So now I'm at 20.
Now you're at 20. Your partner's
And I
promised
know-
6. You're at 20.
So I've got game.
You've got game. Very good. What are you
So
gonna do?
should I just go straight to 4 spades?
Yeah, he who knows goes. You know you've got game value points, and you know you've got a fit in spades. So that's right. Very good. You'll bid 4 spades.
All right.
Okay, let's look at one more rather than playing this. I want to look at one last one here. 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, this hand is going to open 1 spade.
10. Gonna pass.
Okay, let's go back and look at your hand just a minute, Susan. You have 6, 7, 8 points. So you cannot pass. Remember, I made you guys promise in class that if you were opener and you had 13 points, you would always bid, even if you didn't like what you bid. And if you have more than 6 points and your partner is bid, you always have to find a bid. So you've got to bid something, Susan. So out of what you've got there, what do you think you might bid? One, no trump. Very good. That says partner. I don't have support for you. I don't have anything else to bid. I can't bid at the 2 level, but I do have between 6 and 9 points. Pass. Okay, now let's look back at the West hand. My partner has said that they do not have support for my spades. And they don't have enough to bid at the 2 level. But look at my hand. Remember, I had 5 spades and 5 hearts, and I chose to bid the higher one, the spades. But I've got a nice hand here, and I've got 5 nice hearts. So I'm going to bid 2 hearts. I'm going to tell my partner about my hearts. Okay, now Susan likes my hearts, right? We've got a fit in hearts, but she doesn't have many points. So she now can just pass 2 hearts. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
If she raised it, she would be saying, you know, well, she has already said I have at the most 9 points. If my partner had had enough points to go to game, my partner would have gone to game, but instead my partner just tried a new suit. So when I match that suit and I'm at a minimum hand, like the one no trump bid, I can just pass. And then we'd all be passed out. Okay, any questions on any of that? All right, then. Next week, or Wednesday of this week coming up, we're going to be talking about minor suit openings and responses. Thank you guys for being here today. And unless you have questions, I'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you
Okay.
I
so
have
much,
one
Sally.
question.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah, Chris.
you
has a
so
Thank
much.
question. Chris has a question. Okay, Chris.
I lost my connection. Something in the neighborhood just sort of blipped, and
Yeah,
then
it
I
happens
tried to
sometimes.
get back.
Uh-huh.
How would I find your table again?
You would have to, I saw that you came back in, so I could have brought you into the table. You should have been able to see it just on Zoom, but I could have brought you back into the table if we. had
Right. I
been
was
doing
just
that.
wondering
Yeah,
how you
but I
do
could have
that.
done that because I
Okay,
can
well,
see you.
working on it. Thank you.
Okay, you bet. Bye,
Thanks.
guys. We'll see you.
Bye-bye.